Evaluate the expression and answer in rectangular form. Well, I cannot. These don't have the same power, so I cannot add these. There's no way. Like I can't just add the exponents. Only adding exponents is they have to be multiplied together. So I actually have to convert this into rectangular form first. So let's do the first one. So 3e to the I. Okay, so let's make that little triangle here. What do we got here? Well, that's just 3. So 3 is the radius, and then the angle is I, just straight up. So that's just this way over here, and it's 3. So this is going to be pretty easy. Here's my I, and here's my R. So it's not 2 pi, 2, oh no, it's 1. I'm so sorry. Yeah, the angle is 1. That was confusing me there for a second. The angle is 1. So it's somewhere over here. 1, because this is pi, which is 3. So it's like somewhere over here, right there. Okay, there it is. And that angle is 1. And the distance is 3. Okay, yeah, that was confusing me. Okay, so that's good. So now we can figure out what these components are, the x and y, by just doing some conversions here. So we gotta go, the x is going to be equal to cosine, right? Cosine, and cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's going to be 3 times cosine of 1 in radians. And y will be equal to 3 sine of 1. Okay, there we go. And then let's just make sure that's going to be right here. So let's go cosine. Am I in radians? Yes, I am. 3 cosine 1. And that's going to be 1.62. Okay, and then we have sine, and that's going to be 2.52. Great. Now we're going to do the other one. So it's going to be, I'm just going to forget about the negative right now. I'll apply the negative after, okay, because those are always going to confuse me. So we're going to apply the negative after. Let's just do that. So x and y, let's just draw it down to help us out. Here's the real, here's the imaginary. So the angle here is 1/3 I. This is I, this is, no, I always get confused by that. It's 1/3. It's 1/3. Negative 1/3. Negative 1/3. Yeah, there's no pi in there, so that's what's confusing me. I wish there was a pi in there, but so it's just negative 1/3. It's a value, negative 0.13. Well, that was 1. This angle is going to be like down here then, like there, right? Negative 1/3. So there's my x value, and then here's my y value. Okay. So the same equations work here. So x is going to be positive, and it's going to be 2 times cosine of 1/3. Okay? Because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. This distance is 2. And then the other one, y, I'm going to put the negative in here, okay? Because we got a lot of negatives acting here. So I'm going to put the negative in here because I know the y is going to be negative, but I'm still going to use the sine. So 2 sine of 1/3, and that will bring me down here. Okay, so let's check out all these numbers. So 2 cosine of bracket open 1 divided by 3 bracket closed is going to be equal to 1.89, and then negative 2 sine of 1 divided by 3 bracket closed is equal to negative 0.65. Okay, let's check if these things make sense. Yeah, this is definitely way longer, and negative 0.65, and this guy here was x is 1.62, and it was only 2. It was too high, so it's a little higher there. Okay, I like those numbers. So now let's put it back into this equation here. Okay, so instead of writing this, we're going to write down we're going to convert this, because this is equal to now 1.62 plus 2.52 I, right? Those are the exact same things, right? One is just written in rectangular form, and one's written in polar form. And this guy here is equal to 1.89 minus 0.65 I. Okay, so they're the exact same thing, and now we're just going to put it together. Okay, we'll call this Z. Okay, so Z is equal to, okay, instead of writing that, I'm going to write this. So I'm going to write 1.62 plus 2.52 I, and then minus bracket open, because it's the whole thing, minus the whole thing, 1.89 minus 0.65i. Okay. And then when we put all this together, we are going to be done, and it's going to be in rectangular form. So it's going to be 1.62 minus 1.89, and that is equal to negative 0.27, and then we have a 2.52, and then we have a minus, so it's going to be plus 0.65, and that's going to be the real component. So plus 3.17i, and there is our final answer in rectangular form. I could not add these polar foams. I cannot add them or subtract them because the exponents are not the same. So those exponents cannot be added together. It's like adding apples and oranges. Okay, so you have to convert it to rectangular form first to add then i's to i's. Right? I's and i's, you can add those together. And this is just a real number, and this is just a real number. You can add those together. Okay, it's not attached to this exponent, which is it has a different exponent, and you can't add those together.